Glasp it or forget it. That's my video for the day. And again, welcome, folks. Here we have those extensions are browser extensions. I think I'm into the Chrome and the Edge. You would be able to get Glasp for Chrome or Edge. You could jump across onto the website using the link in my bio. GLASP Glasp. Use the link in my bio. Therefore, I get referrals. Thank you for supporting me. Now, what is Glasp? We have discussed that in our last video. Just let me quickly run through it here. We could go just directly to the Glasp website, or in my case, I just simply click on the extension. There's a little pop-up here that goes around and figure out what's on the web page that you are currently on. Let me just click on this little icon here to hide it. Then what you do when you are going through your article, and we'll just quickly go through this article today, which is 11th article written on 11 2024 of June, 5 minutes read. And this article is about age and chronological age, the telomeres on the DNA. And here they are pointing to the importance of having, the understanding of things like stem cells. Well, that's what the article should be about. But the stem cells, which are basically what I call the newt cells in my discussion on my broadcast, they are blank cells. They are stored in the body. They are created from the bone marrow. They comes out, or they are created from a structure. They come across the plane, knowing everything that has to happen, but they cannot specialize. And then those stem cells, when they are called upon, wherever they are called upon, they then become specialized. Okay, so they are basically jack of all trades, masters of none, sitting and waiting for them to get a job. When they get a job, they become specialized. And so we have learned a lot about telomeres. And so you could read this article from Body Health, and here you have Body Health. Again, you go click the link in my bio. Body Health have a number of scientific amino acids in the tablet and powder form. Of course, the tablet form is what I support most of the time in my personal use. I use Body Health tablets, coated tablets, and stuff like that because honestly, folks, amino acids, unlike whey powder, whey protein powder, and those vegan protein powder, which is full of carbs, which is what you're trying to get away from, the amino acids taste like crap. And so tablets are easy to consume. I mean, you could try everything else, but I am certain you would come to the conclusion that amino acid tastes like crap. In fact, my son asked me if this is dog food. Now, they do have a wonderful range of not just amino acids, they have some very wonderful other products, things like New Cell, which is I think they use to help clean the liver. No, I think that is the cell, the metal and can cleanse, the metal and free metal and chemical cleanse from Body Health for liver detox. Very good. I don't do the Q1 water and H2 infused water. I have H2 infuser at home. They have some probiotics, eliminate. They have a number of products, and I think they put some specific research into their products. When I look at body health products, they seem to have gone way, way above what you'd get. Of course, the prices are not comparative to those stuff that you just pick up from Amazon. For example, if you just look at the greens, which is a mixture of fulvic aminos, meaning that they would have the essential amino acids. They have 80 essential amino acids bundled with, look at what they have here. Let me see if I could click on this. They have bundled the essential amino acids with stuff that would support, when we say green is supporting the whole liver detox. You have the essential amino, you have immune support, you have things, and those materials that they are using are generally coming from, you could see broccoli, organic carrot, organic beetroot juice, good things for the liver, then cabbage and stuff like that. They are doing those things from kind of plant-based system, and they have, of course, the most important here is our essential amino acids. Again, without essential amino acids, we are really wasting time. Now, the article that we are looking at today, if I could get back to that article, which seems to be evading me at this point in time. Let me just pause to get the article. Okay, so this one is called how toxins accelerate the aging process, and I am writing now about the liver, so this is something of my interest that you could of course read it free on the body health site on the blog. Again, click the link in my bio to support my channel. Now, if you look at what's happening here, they are specifically speaking about we are born with specific cells called stem cells, which are able to divide and create new cells of any type that the body needs. So, in my previous discussion, that is what I'm referring to. That you have these blank cells, I call them newt cells, and then they become differentiated on demand. You have a very good reading here. So what you want to do in with a Glasp, if you have to deal with an article like that, you want to save, yes, bookmark this thing here. Everybody know that you could click on favorite, but you would have to go back and search for what this article. But there are specific little piece of information that you have to pick up and start highlighting on a web page, which is where simple tools like Glasp, I mean, there are many other tools you could use to just highlight, but Glasp is not just an highlighter. So I could highlight this here, but when I highlight this, if this is important for me, as it says, as of 2022, there were an estimated 350,000 chemicals used in the world, most of which gets into our water supply. Now, if this is a statement of fact, and I would like to check it out, I would add it into the note. That is where I right click and I add it into the note and say, check this out for the reference. And I am also interested in the names of some of the popular. So then I could go future wise and do this here. Now this tag here is about what? Toxins. So I'm here doing a listing of toxins, and because I'm very much into liver, I think this should be important for the liver. And I could say heavy metals. Now I'm doing this on my computer, but it's Glasp is in the cloud, so all this is going into my Glasp account. As you could see, my icon here shows that I'm going putting all these notes into my Glasp account, and it is tied into this page. So future wise, when I go to Glass, and I log into Glasp, I go to my dashboard. No, I'm already logged in because I'm logged in into the browser. You know, this automatic login work. I wouldn't get a prompt to log in. But when I go to my browser and I get into my platform here, you notice that I have the page already saved. I don't have to say, well, let me download this. Now, if I'm using official referencing tools like EndNote or Mendeley, I would be referencing papers, downloading, putting it into those things for, proper peer review research and stuff like that. But when I'm doing these readings for my process to gain some generic information around the board, and you pick it up from articles and from websites, from YouTube, you have a tool like Glass that does this wonderful job. So you see, notice that I have been tagging. So you see those that are tagged, I have highlighted two notes here. You notice that the notes are shown up here. Now, if I come to this here and I say even inside Glasp, I could, well, let me just open this article here. If I hit inside Glasp and have this shown up here, and I do an AI summary of this here, you would see that it gives us a very good summary of the entire article on the website. Now, the website is no longer with me, it's right there inside Glass. So Glass has accept the um, Glasp has accessed the website, and it has given me what I call a very modest summary. It's not a big summary, but the main points, the amount of chemicals that we see or what that ends up in our water supply, that's important. Toxins in our water can accelerate the aging process, that's important. And exposure to toxin can lead to oxidative stress and inflammation, which is one of the critical factors in our aging process today. That is important. Now, the whole issue of toxins being in the body, leading to oxidative stress, means that we need to fight oxidative stress a little bit more, because we have much more toxins going in, much more activity of the liver to detoxify or to move things out. That's why we have to say add other supplements apart from the regular stuff like the dandelion and the milk thistle. We need to learn about the NACs and other things that supports the liver in the detoxification process. Again, the amino acid L-methionine is quite important to help with the detoxification process. So the oxidative stress, on the other hand, which comes from the cellular level and some other places, but we know metabolic waste and metabolic stress in this at the cellular level, which is trillions and trillions of mitochondria in our organs, are creating reactive oxygen species, which is basically the substance that leads to oxidative stress. We need to find ways of dealing with the oxidative stress, and one of the ways I've found which is also found, you could buy some of this hydrogen from magnesium hydrogen or from perfect amino um, to deal with that. But I do the hydrogen gas and the hydrogen gas water, which is again shown. So here I could tie this, make this into some notes, and I'm gonna do this. So if you check my website, AI Health Insight Now, which is my website, you would see my summary of the day is really a pull together of this article, their summary, and then I will push in the article right into my website, so you could have a link there, my URL, and then you will be able to see some of the, well, the supporting statements, the refutals, rebuttals, my own opinion gets together on my website as I work together with AI. So you have a nice little summary here of the entire article. If you don't want to read the article and you have Glasp, for example, let me jump back to the article. Now I am gonna read the article in its entirety. That is, my duty and my job. There's something that you wouldn't get from Glass, like the steps was not really mentioned here, but we do note that we have a good little article to read. We know while we are reading the article, having a tool like Glass is quite an important facet in 2024 to help us work with the articles that we are reading, whether it is for your health, whether it is for your school, whether it is for your business. You might be just reading an article. Glasp is a tool that helps you to really put things together from various parts on the web. So that is the video for today. You please feel free to reach out to me. Again, click the link to install Glasp as a plugin into your browser so that you'll be able to use that tool. The account is free, Glasp is free. I don't know if it's a paid something. In my case, it's free. And yes, I'm promoting it because I think it's just a wonderful tool and I'm promoting the tool. I know little about the company per se, but the tool is just a wonderful extension to your browser. Again, you could get it into the Chrome store, I guess the Microsoft Edge Chrome store, wherever you, whatever browser you look for your Glass plugin, and you have this tool here to work with. You could see the notes. You again, the highlighter is quite a beautiful thing to have. Once you highlight a block of text, it's gonna give you the ability to copy, and of course, once you copy, you could say hello, which is your own personal note. So this is one of the function, and then that's the video for today. Of course, in doing this video, I hope I would have raised attention and awareness to the amount of heavy chemicals that are ending up in our water supply, in our food sources, and therefore we are accelerating aging because we are loading up ourselves with toxins, and we need to figure out how to get rid of toxins. Again, the liver knows how to get rid of toxins, anything that is in excess, anything that is not good. The liver knows how to get rid of that, but to get the liver into that state of getting rid of, we have to support the liver by giving it that part which we call the supporting mechanism to detoxify, meaning that the liver cannot, the liver doesn't just simply say, let me just jump and take off toxins and dump it into the bile. No, the liver says, I need some other substances to convert the toxins into less toxic and less harmful ways before I dump it into the bile. And that is a point that I think we need to emphasize in 2024 to our audience in the health space or in the general space, so that we would understand the liver needs nutrients. That is why it's so important to understand your amino acid. For example, methionine is well known to be a supporter of the liver. So if you would check out my website, aihealthinsight.org, click the link in my bio, you'll get directly to this article here, which would, be a summary of all that I've discussed in this video here. What I'm looking at is glucotamine. Glutamine is precursor for glutathione synthesis to actually bring that amino acid. So these are amino acids that needs to come together to help create detoxification compounds. Now it aids in detoxification of toxins, and that is the pathways here, because this is a summary. The pathways here we have to understand, and I generally just try to encapsulate that because my audience for my teaching is people like myself, non-health experts, non-scientific, into the scientific health community. We need to understand some of these things through analogies. So the idea here is these substances, if we do not have them in enough support, enough quantities, then the liver, while it needs to detoxify or get rid of, detoxify simply means gets rid of what we are calling toxins, or what the liver would consider as being things that should not go to the blood, then we have to understand that the liver just doesn't take out a heavy metal and dump it down into the bile and say, hey, Mr. Mercury molecule, get out of here. No, that is not how it happens. That is how we sweep our homes and just picks up the garbage and throw it in the garbage bin. The liver treats this as when we break a plate, a glass, a cup, or something of a structure that is broken. We don't just dump it into our garbage bins because it would cut the plastic bags and everything would spill over, and then you would say, oh, what a mess I've made. The liver behaves in a way of saying, I would first bubble wrap or transform these broken things, which are now considered to be things that we should put in the garbage. Let me transform it by bubble wrapping it with newspaper or tape so that it becomes safe to be thrown in the garbage bin. And here the garbage bin means to be put into the bile so it could flow out into the bile and eventually get back into the duodenum and down into mix up with other foods, do what it has to do, and then get out into number two. Now that is where these substances, these amino acids are also important. These are not all the substances in liver need, but these are critical amino acids that is the liver needs. Glutathione, which helps in creating glutathione, and it aids in detoxification. You have glycine, which is which is sweet. Glutathione should be sweet. Any word you see with GL like glucose, the sweet types. But glycine is used to synthesize bile salts, which is very important for us to and bile salts aid in the excretion of the fat soluble toxins. So even your vitamins, bile salts are important to balance them, meaning that the vitamin D, the vitamin E, K, they are toxic. So what happens, you would see them circulating back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because 95% of your bile salts actually gets reabsorbed. So you would see your vitamin D floating in and out of the body, floating in and out of the body. That's the way the body controls how much vitamin D that gets into the blood, EDK, those fat soluble vitamins, because we have things like enough glycine to create enough bile salts, and the bile salts generally gets out and bring these things into back into the digestive tract, small intestine. They get reabsorbed somewhere along the line and they go back up. So when we say, you have sunshine for 6 months of the year, you should take sunshine. You create enough vitamin D, you activate them through the liver and the kidneys, and then they start getting circulate. They start suckling in and out of the liver, because there is just that which the body need, which is the right quantity, and the rest is considered to be toxic. And toxic does not always mean heavy metals. Toxic means it is not recognized as a need by the blood at this point in time, maybe sooner or later. And so we see these fat soluble vitamin B in that way. So the glycine is important for that. And again, glycine is an amino acid, one of those 22 amino acids that we should be getting daily into our food. That's why it's so important to eat your eggs, your meat, um, supplement with your amino acids if you have to do that. If you're a vegetarian, get your vegetarian type amino acids. Cysteine seeds are another precursor, and it conjugates with toxins for elimination. We have taurine. It supports bile acid conjugation, very important here, bringing the bile acids together, and it enhances the toxic elimination via the bile. So taurine is important to help you to actually get the bile to flow out of the liver, maybe into the gallbladder. If you don't have a gallbladder, just let it get taurine would help your bile to flow. So you see, it says the elimination process, cysteine. So you would have known about NAC, N-acetylcysteine, and then taurine. These two amino acids are very important for us to have in our diet to ensure that the bile is not just conjugated, come together, but it's also important for having things like taurine to help the bile to flow. So when you look at supplements that, for example, this very good supplement called BitFlow from Empirical Labs, um, you would see that they have taurine as part of the mixture. You would note that they have that as part of the mixture. You have, well, of course, the precursor to SAMe, which is a metal donor, is for the in the methylation process and the detoxification process, methionine. And methionine is abundantly found in rice. It's very good. They say when you speak about weight loss, having methionine is quite important, and you might understand weight loss as well, weight gain as being toxic substance, including glucose being stored as fat. So now, if you have good detoxification happening, you would need methionine. And then when you have that, you would then start losing weight. Basically, a lot of methionine would help you lose weight. And so Why? Because you have enough metal donors, you have enough of the processes on the metallation cycle happening. Contribution to glutathione synthesis and phase 2 detoxification. So these amino acids are some of the things. The articles we were looking at, and here is we are looking just to show you what Glasp should do. We got this article from Body Health and we use Glasp to do the summary. And of course, we showed you how Glasp works in this video. So this is just a summary here. You could pop across to my website. Thank you for viewing. Have a wonderful day and see you around from aihealthinsight.org.